Appreciate it. And I am a longevity enthusiast, but I'm also an enthusiast about many other things, including crypto, all the work you're trying to do. And I think that longevity and cryptocurrency actually have a lot more similarities and things in common that we can kind of piggyback on in both communities that maybe some people are not aware of, that hopefully we can chat about.
Sure. So, the only relationship that I know of between longevity and crypto is that a lot of people that donate to the SENS Foundation and other longevity initiatives have crypto. So Vitalik donated a few million to the SENS Foundation, which I think you know more about than I do. I think he gave 3 million, and I think he gave another 500,000. So I think he's donated twice.
Correct. And there's the Pineapple Fund as well, which is
Ooh, okay.
anonymous still, to my knowledge. So somebody
Do you know
had a
how
lot
much
of
Pineapple
crypto.
gave?
Somebody can fact check me, but it was a lot. I think it
Okay.
was like 50 million, but I could be
No, they
wrong.
gave
So
55 million to a bunch of people, but the question is how much did they give to SENS?
right. I don't recall, but it was a lot, I thought. So
Right.
somebody should check that.
It's $1 million
Uh,
is the answer. So the Pineapple, so Vitalik gave like 3.5 million, and Pineapple Fund gave 1 million, and then I think there's a dude named Mike something that also donated. He's in Germany. What's his last
don't
name?
yeah, I don't recall his last name either.
Yeah. So there's a Mike in Germany that's like a tech startup guy that also has donated, and that I think he's the reason that they now have the SENS like meetups, like the SENS conference every year. I think that he's the reason they have them in Germany now instead of Cambridge. Well, I'll just Google it.
Yeah, but essentially, like the higher level, what I want to
Michael
try and get at,
Grieve, he gave 10 million to SENS.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I interviewed Dr. Arbiter Gray in July of this year, I asked him, "Hey, what's maybe one of the most exciting things or something that maybe people aren't aware of that's been changing in longevity?" And his answer was emphatically that Silicon Valley, serious, wealthy entrepreneurs are for the first time within the past 2 or 3 years really starting to look at longevity science and actually starting to invest. So that's a general message that I want your audience and the whole world to be aware of, because they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't think that it was possible. Like wealthy people who are intelligent don't typically just piss money away investing. They might piss it away gambling, private jets, lifestyle, but they don't typically just piss it away,
Right.
from my experience.
My position on this is very simple. Do you want to remain alive? Do you want to remain healthy? Okay. Well, if better science and better medicine exists when you start falling apart, then you'll be okay. And how does that science get created? By scientists. And how do they do their work? With funding and education. And so what you need, if you don't want to die and rot, and every day that you're alive, there's a grim reaper coming and killing some of the people around you. So like my grandparents are totally dead. My dog's dead. You know, looking at me, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be around. Do you want to put up a fight while you can, while you're still able to stand? Or do you want to die with a whimper like a bitch and not even put in any effort and not even try? And a lot of the world decides to die like a bitch and doesn't put in any work, doesn't put in any effort, doesn't do any research, doesn't do any funding, doesn't do any outreach, and they just fucking die. And everyone that they have loved dies, and their children die, and it just keeps going on and on and on. It doesn't need to be that way, Aging will be cured at some point. It's just a question of whether you get to be alive when it occurs or not. And when it gets cured, you're still going to die by accident, because life is still dangerous. So statistically, if you don't change your habits, you'll die at about the age of 600 if aging was removed as a cause of death. Which is, it's not bad. So if you think, there's a lot of people that live, not a lot, but there's quite a few people that live to 100. And so how much better would the world be if the most productive, most intelligent, most useful humans were still around to still be kicking ass? What if Einstein and Edison and Alexander Graham Bell and everyone else, Tesla, was still alive and inventing today? Well, it's not much to ask for. Clams live 600 years, lobsters live a few hundred years, whales live a long time, tortoises live, 200 years. It's like trees live 10,000 years. There's a lot of living things that live a really long time, and humans just aren't one of those things. And that's a tragedy for the world. So we need more science to be done. We need more research to be done. We need more human beings doing good and honorable things, healing the humans, which are the most valuable things in the universe. The only consciousness we're aware of exists in man. And if you like the idea of consciousness and life, everything on Earth is going to be permanently extinct. Permanently extinct. 99.9% of all things that have ever existed are permanently extinct right now, because a meteor comes along every once in a while and wipes everything out. And that will happen again. There will be a catastrophic extinction level event on Earth again. And the only way to prevent it, and the only way to maintain life as you know it now, is for the humans to solve that. We have to intercept the meteors and change their trajectory to miss us. We have to prevent global pandemics. We have to prevent nuclear holocaust. The humans here have to do these things. No one else is going to be able to do them. And so I see a world where everyone's putting their time into shit that doesn't matter. Cosmetics, F1 racing, even going to Mars. Yeah, it's fun. It sounds cool. We'll have interplanetary redundancy. So now I'll be more likely to die earlier and more painfully because everyone else wanted an insurance plan to be able to fuck off to some other planet. I would rather have a better chance of surviving and making it on my own at the cost of interplanetary redundancy, right? I would much rather have a lottery ticket of sticking around for a while than letting myself die and some other guy has an okay time on the red planet. Fuck that, is my opinion. I disagree with the way Bill Gates runs his charity, even though it's amazing. I disagree with the way Elon Musk allocates his time, even though it's amazing. These are two of the best, most productive human beings that we have here on Earth, and I just have a different value system than they do, even though they're smarter, more productive. I know I'm a bitch compared to those guys. It doesn't mean that their belief system's superior. So my belief system is simply that not all human lives have the same value. I believe that people that I know and can interact with and maybe will meet in my life are of higher value than people that I can't speak to, won't ever meet, might not be related to, might not even like. So for me, every human life is not worth the same. If you're a murderer, I don't think your life is worth as much as if you're a healer. So
Richard, I agree with pretty much everything you just stated there, and I'll just say that I'm even a bigger bitch than you are compared to Bill Gates, Elon Musk, the world. So I also disagree with Elon Musk with their vast wealth and time. I think they could be doing it a lot more effectively. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you just dropped out for a second, but you're back. So you left off saying that, those guys are great, but they could be doing it better. Yeah, I'm not willing to watch my family die so that, 50 other people somewhere else that I'll never meet and never interact with have a better time. Fuck that.